Hagn said, it's ice. Na dann. Nice start. Okay. That's of course one of these tracks where you have ice slide after ice slide or no in between. Ah, wait, here's an in between. Okay. Okay, here's also an in between. Here isn't. Okay, 2 standalone ice slides and 2 ice slides in combination. Glacial Ice Campaign. Nadeo style ice campaign releases 9th of May, 1 hour after Cup of the Day. And here's a GPS of the route. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to waste time. Can you please start? Oh my god. Okay, here we go. He approaches it very inside. Approaches this rather outside. Aims there, then holds long. Aims there, okay. Oh, super late. Okay, let's go. It was difficult to get full speed around, I had to release slightly. Okay, 17th. Was the first clean run. Maybe we can go into my voice chat Haken if no OK boy is showing up. Like not even Chris is here and we have an ice map. I struggled with that very first one. Rip. Yeah, that's why we should go voice. Rip. unlucky. I wait a slight bit if someone joins late, but probably there won't be. Ah, there won't be. Yeah. Cup of the day and I'm not in the OK Boys voice chat. Can you believe it?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm honored. I'm breaking a very long tradition. But I'm unsure if I can make it to Div 1.
I mean, it's the typical ice thing, like you need that one sick run through. I have finished another clean, but it's not enough.
Yeah, at CP6 you have to be careful to not go too far to the right side because there's snow.
Actually, my last run I touched it.
Yeah, same. And I was surprised what was happening there.
That was a 6 start, but now all my lead is lost, I think. No, it's not yet. That was not a nice line. 600s, okay. That shows that there's much more potential though. Start, however, is difficult to repeat. This is a good first slide again. Okay, I do repeat. I don't get around. Continue such a run? No.
That's definitely a difficult map. It's long. Yeah, ice speed slides are for me way more difficult than the technical slow ice maps.
Okay. Couldn't really get to that nice line. It can just easily happen for me that I do a slight mistake in a line and then it's like always immediately full over. I mean, it's always the issue, like if there's one brake tap too strong, then yeah, it just happens. I have no control how long these brake taps are. That's my shoulder button. Yeah, I had some good first ice slides, but those are bad now. Why is there snow at the exit of the first ice slide on the left? Because I'm now 3 times in a row, I'm basically aiming that.
Left.
Yeah, I'm getting that inside at the exit.
Okay.
That this is in the way.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Oh! I'm Div 1. Yeah, then you see what I lost in my other attempt. I lost so much time in the last turn in the other try. Now I could basically, without any break taps, it was just the right line. Yeah, I don't know. I struggle to get Div 1 nowadays on normal Cup of the Day maps, so nowadays I need ice to get Div 1. That was back in the day otherwise, it was always easy to beat Div 1, but when there was an ice map, it was hella difficult. I think I become an ice player now, Hagn. Officially.
Nice to hear, then you
Yeah.
can join the campaign discovery today.
Yeah, no.
Oh. What am I? Div 3. A 45-8 now. People on my server asking if there's a cut. Oh, I have exit speed.
I missed my PB by 9,000.
I hit that blue pole!
Yeah, on the left.
At the end there, on the left side, yes.
I was
The
also
only
close to that once.
one. I have to start a Reddit post.
Ah, I'm so stupid. I was a world record. Fuck.
Okay, last try.
I had literally the perfect start on my previous attempt. And then I did a break tap too early. And the one was over. Yeah, PP again. Putting a Mario? No, I don't PP. Okay, that's weird, but...
Yeah, I'm a Div 3 player today.
Yannick's in second place. It's weird. Okay.
I like the gap from first to second.
Yeah. It's a bit huge. Oh, Spammy was on my server, okay. So he's also Div 1. Also with that start that I had, I can definitely say that I could have been easily second. First, the world record is of course, naja, only if the rest is also perfect, but I bet that it was a world record start. Also, like, how could these first two ice slides be any better than what I had there? So what diff are you?
3. I was around 160 or so.
With that 0.8?
45.8, yes. I mean, it's 0.7 behind you, so makes sense, but yeah. At the beginning it was easier to get the phone on ice maps.
Yeah, the first 2 ice cup of the days I also won.
Wow.
I was the ice player.
Didn't make a play there yet.
Yeah, okay, we have to be honest. The second one, actually I won 3, but only one map is kind of like, they are not like this. Also one of these maps was basically a mix of ice and NASCAR, and on the ice you didn't even have an ice slide, or I'm not sure if there was an ice slide, or if you went rather straight over it, but you had an icy tires. Then there was a LOL Cup of the day, one of the first LOL Cup of the days, which was one bobsleigh corner, 180, and then a huge jump. So kinda icy.
I
And-
think I know that one.
Yeah, that was an incredible fight. It was one of the most funny finals ever. And then the very first Cup of the Day win, my first Cup of the Day win, was on the very famous map Blizzard. And yeah, this is an ice map, but it is of course a lot different than what we have today. And it was also a bit of like a combination ice and RPG almost, you could say.
Hey.
You probably should know that because people hunted it also for author time. I don't even have the author time myself. I won that, but yeah, there is however a cut on that track.
Now with the ice updates, the author time should probably be easier.
It was definitely cooked author time for back in the days. The funny thing is, I didn't even attempt to ice slide. Like a turn that was like a kilometer long, I didn't ice slide and I still won the cup because there were always crashes. Like this is how you won back in the days. Beating Gwen in the grand final. Yeah, that was amazing. Where's Lars and Granati today? Also, I have the feeling that Lars is literally only joining when Granati is there at the moment. Also very often that's the case. I mean, maybe Lars would have joined me and saw it's an ice map and decided not to. Can also be. But yeah, I would assume maybe Lars is not even streaming today. I don't know what his plans are, but I could see him not streaming and chilling a day. Maybe also, yeah, probably he chills today because tomorrow, usually he chills on Saturday, but tomorrow is this Mr. Bonald thingy. So tomorrow he will stream. Yeah, I will just assume that he maybe makes an off day today and then doesn't play Cup of the Day either. Let's just assume that. And Granadi, maybe you know that better, Hagen.
I don't know what his plans exactly are today, but he streamed for around 2 hours and yeah, I think it was his free day anyways and he was bored and just wanted to stream for a bit and then yeah, he only did a short stream. Also surprised because we only have 45 times in Div 3. I was expecting somebody to be way faster already.
And besides these 3 icy Cup of the Day wins, I actually also won a bobsleigh Cup of the Day. Which also
I remember that was right after the update, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Where there was a wrong display in Spam's stream. And he was like super confused if I found a trick how to play bobsleigh. because it showed him as if I was constantly switching between action key 4 and no action key. So it switched in the gamepad overlay for him in spectating, it switched between 80% and 100% all the time around, as if I was doing very fast tapping for the action key on off. But I didn't do anything, and he thought maybe that makes me faster. And the update was the reason for it. No, it was one of these bobsleigh maps, as every other bobsleigh map as well. It had a weird first corner, and in that one edition I understood first turn in the cup very well. I got a lot of speed out of it very often. And the rest was then basically just hit the entries. If you hit the entries, it's fine. But I always went with an advantage into the race. Kandzsika! Kandzsika's in!
Close. Yeah, Hank is also in Div 3. That's somehow very often for him.
Yeah, like whenever I'm not Div 1 on ice, which is the normal case, I'm always in his div. Every single time I end up in his div. And it's always different in which div I am. It's not necessarily Div 2, no? Sometimes it's the 3. Sometimes maybe even worse, but not that often. Like usually top 3 divs. But yeah, I often end up with Hankisme together. And I also wonder, like he's always doing good in the knockout then, and he is of course fast. But he never gets it together in the seeding, it seems like.
He almost had a 44 time this round.
Maybe he's just farming trophies, who knows.
Maybe I turn crossplay off and win my cup of the day.
Yeah. Do you remember your snooker ice troll kappa? How would I not remember?
I was just thinking, did you have more cup of the days than on this one?
No, I didn't attempt anymore. Yeah, it was a skill map indeed, but in the reruns it became then more like troll. But you didn't need much skill anymore than in the reruns when all the wallbang lines were discovered.
The combination is funny because everybody should hate that map. Ice players don't like it because it's not stadium core, and everybody else hates it because it's snow core. Good pick.
Also I found it just logic. We had a Rice Cup of the Day map when Rally came into the game. We had also a Dice Cup of the Day, rather early, not directly with Desert coming into the game, but it didn't take long and we had Dice. And I mean, someone had to build Snice, but I would think that these booster Snice maps would always be a bit too difficult. I mean, maybe we will see it for a LoL edition. But otherwise would be too difficult. But
when you think about the desert LoL map with these booster tricks, that was probably equal difficult to these booster snowcore maps. Where, yeah, we thought at the beginning, hey, maybe you drive it backwards and it works better.
I'm not sure which desert map you mean. Do you mean the other LoL map with the transmission? How was it called? This? Or do you mean a big... Because it didn't have boosters, no? That was just a fast magnet. Or did you mean something else?
Yes. No, I think it was the fast magnet, but yeah, it felt like boosters with these magnets.
Ja. Olingo versus Spammy. And no changes. Kandzsika is out. Yep.
Henkesme out.
Yep.
And yeah.
Yes, breakless. For me, the most important thing in my Snice map was that in the real cover, the exploit isn't found. Like, I kinda expected that there's probably something possible. Because, like, it was just hard to avoid. Like, I could have avoided any exploits if I don't build any walls or anything besides the ice. No snow, no walls, like nothing. If I avoid everything, then I would have had no issues, but that's like, that looks in garbage.
Just don't give them collisions.
Hello!
Hello.
I thought you were on. Okay, boys.
Yeah, yeah. Usually, like the first time I'm not there actually, but yeah, I was again alone and Hagn was playing, and
I saw.
It's a very close round for you.
Yeah. Thought that my first ice slide was slid out.
Did you go out now, or was that just in that round with the ice slide?
I'm totally out.
Ah, okay.
Together with Spam and Mada.
Oh.
oh, I didn't even realize Mata was also there.
On top 39.
But people have big issues with the first two ice slides, I realize. Like often the gap to the safe is already huge early on.
Yeah, you don't have to over-rotate your car, just full speeding and slightly tapping. Ah man, this is so nice map actually. Like this map, this kind of ice kappas are friendly.
Only because they have more space, but for me they're way more difficult than the narrow, icy street maps, where it's more technical to, yeah, brake tap or whatever. But with these open maps and the constant speed slides, it's way more hard for me. And also the timing for the brakes, so you don't do them too long. And maybe I'm out this round.
Oh, me too. One slide of last time.
Finished. I finished.
Ah, okay then. Yeah, this is like how ice works. You have one slide out and you are immediately in the mud. Especially on those super fast slides. Naja, I did release in that moment when I slid out because I had to, because my brake tap was again too long and was too inside, so I had to release. And I get, of course, a big time loss if the car slides out, but I mean, you kinda hope always that the car won't slide out. Like that you can just release and that it won't happen. Because you have to anyway, like you just pray for it then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it in the first right turn?
No, directly in the first left turn I got to inside.
Oh, okay.
And there apparently it's very dangerous to release.
Yeah, I noticed I got to inside on the right turn afterwards and then I slid out.
And the car also took a while until it got grip again. I mean, pace-wise, I think I can actually be really fast here, but of course absolutely inconsistent with
Same.
getting that. Also,
Me too, actually. My couple of attempts, I was ahead of Aircon's TimeAttack PB. He had 44.77 or so, and my copium time on the second checkpoint was minus 0.4 from 45.20. So easy times.
now for my point 16, I had a start where I was over 3/10 in front after the first two ice slides. That was such a sick start. And the rest I got usually better than the time attack and more consistent. For Johnsy, yeah, that's cool. I mean, I'd like always to know when he hosts that, but today is difficult. I mean, the Melzi of the week just makes sense to play because there's a bit of prize money involved each week, so makes a lot of sense to participate in there. I don't know if Giuliano now always goes for the Friday. Usually Friday at this time, it was usually a very good time, but exactly now multiple cups were announced for Fridays. So just lately the Melzi of the week got added to happen now on Fridays, and also there is now the under 10 seconds cup is back and is later at 22 o'clock. Also now the Friday suddenly becomes also full packed if you are Marius and play everything. And there's of course also the Yannick's Cup sometimes, but I think not today. I will check that again. But I think he didn't announce it in the weekly program. The next Platform Cup, I think it's next week.
It's time for people to move their cups after Bomb Cup. Otherwise, don't know if there's anything else.
Okay, that was a close round.
Yeah, 53 is decent already.
Hello, Picunia Dest. Where do I have here next? That's anyway still everything full packed actually for me. So we will check shortly. Yannick is doing Mario Kart sur TM. And then mapping puzzle together. Okay. Yeah, tomorrow is the last RPG. I still didn't play the map, but that means that I have to do that. I have to learn it, and I have to basically the whole day tomorrow I have to only do the RPG so that I can participate there in the evening. I hope I find enough time and get the pace before the cup is starting. Hope that I'm fast enough. Oh, what a close! Holy! Oh, and Yannick's we talked about. Oh wow! But holy shit, that is good orange time already, and also first red is okay. Yeah, what kind of cup is Melzi Cup? Also, I hope it's Fastler now. Last week there was half maps Fastler and half maps were with people knowing them already. But usually Fastler, they said, and Cup Mode Finalist. It's a weird random maps. Definitely weird maps. Also, after the first edition we can say they are not standard. Yeah, and then of course there is Lars, his puzzle map, no? Oh, this will take a while. What he built there will take a while to figure out the fastest routes. Not easy, not logic. Not that easy logic. First have to build some blocks to figure out maybe a logic. But there are several ideas that I have that you could try, and that can take long. But there is also, and I haven't looked at it yet, and there's also only 3 days left for it. Then Trackmania United Forever, the big United Masters Cup is starting, which has also 4 digits of prize money. And yeah, the annoying thing with this cup is, I would be really hyped for it, and I would also like to try a bit of steering wheel driving or actually use the joystick for the first time. But generally, now that I finally have this smooth steer gamepad, like I think I've figured out how to get it to work after the last United Cup. So it's like the first time that I have a chance to use it to my advantage there. So I was kinda hyped, but the problem is that the grand final is exactly in my 5 days holiday that I have end of May. Which is of course very bad. So I already know that I cannot really do a good grand final. And then there's also a rule change. While in other seasons you were keeping all your points into the grand final, you were basically gathering the points already in the season, and the semi and grand final gave you more points, they were more important, but you still could have an advantage. I cannot even take this because now everyone has 0 points before the grand final. We basically completely start from scratch there. And if I have to play that on my laptop, yeah. But you can of course gain money there already, in theory, in the qualification rounds. In theory, I should definitely have a look at that. But it's also only 3 days. So it's very crazy again, with how much we have. At the moment I'm also super hyped for this year's XP Evo. I really want to train. But I know already what will happen. When the maps get released, there are again thousands of other cups in Trackmania that are not so far away like XP Evo at that point. And then I prioritize them again, then I have my holidays, and in the end I'm again only semi-practiced for XP Evo. Like I would really have to cut off a lot of things to be able to really try hard for one cup. Wow, that was a snipe. Ramune against Sumi.
You see your chat message about
Ja.
the kandzsika?
So.
That it's old course.
Oh, no, they're even better. Yeah, then of course I will do that still. And yeah, Fredwolf, also, as I said, I want to play the RPG Cup in Team 2 this time. And didn't really intend to play ARM-X. But I can say that the RPG map is a little bit shorter than other RPG tracks that we had earlier. I don't know if the fact that it's shorter might actually make it possible that it ends at 21 o'clock, but I of course don't really know that early on. So I have also no idea what happens actually if there are only 2 players. Oh wow, Virtual got saved by Darklight. I don't know what happens when there are only 2 players from a team and they start the script, they start the seeding. What happens then? Like, how does this work? And how many points does the team get? I really wonder. I mean, in theory, they usually start 5 minutes late with ARM-X because some teams still wait for players. Then you have, of course, a bit of warm-up, and then you could also put me into 3rd position. Also, in theory, I have probably until around 28, 29 time to finish off the RPG thing. Difficult. The thing is, rest of Saturday, of course, are free. It's just that the start of the ARM-X is the issue.
Yeah, I got finally my 44 time for this map.
But yeah, when I think about it, in the RPG Cup, we aren't many players anymore. Also, there are only like a few standard players. If you compare that with the first map, the first week, there were of course so many players playing that, everyone super hyped for it. But now there are less players. Also especially if I check the VOD from the last edition, there are the usual top 5 players and like 2 more maybe that had a chance to follow, and then there were only like 5 other players that were a bit further behind. That was it. That means, however, that everyone scores big points, so you will definitely get quick. Also maybe I can try ARMX. Maybe I can try it, but I cannot say for sure that I'm there early on. I don't know. Do you have a team, Fredwolf? So, and will Virtual get saved again? Also, it shouldn't happen. He's really far away.
I don't think so. Croissant, Andy, and Ramon, they won't fail.
Also, you try to help Virtual by jinxing them. But it looks good for them.
Yep, they're saving. They're saving. I knew it. Like at this time, that was safe.
Baguette versus Croissant final. Maybe.
Oh, no bagels today.
True, Croissant must be burnt bagels.
Also, Ramune has a 44.58. Andy Baguette has a 44.50. And he is in theory the slowest. By far the slowest. Yeah. And also
Andy Baguette
crashed here. Did Ramune ever win?
I don't think so.
Okay. Maybe a first winner, guys. And
I only know Andy and Teuflum.
Yeah, and Andy, however, no, as I always say when he reaches finals, he is just very, very good in finals. He usually delivers. I think that his winning ratio looks very strong. So
Ramon's best placement was 6, so could be a first-time winner.
Yeah, but also a lot of pressure, of course. Like Andy Baguette is probably less nervous.
Oh, Andy got the perfect SD.
Yeah,
Oh,
Ramune will touch it.
Yeah, and he's out. And GG.
But this is exactly the issue with Ice. Like, I also saw myself in this line sometimes, and then like he had to risk it. He had to make it close and somehow survive if he wants to keep up. Because if you try to avoid that, then you lose so much time and momentum is kinda over. But it also looks like a pretty clean run and good time. Yeah, 44-7. I mean, Ramune had that pace, but yeah, not after the first ice slide, it was already gone.
At that time was okay, but not a decent.
Ramune is also a Japanese snack. Wow. Yeah, I also have a big problem because I have 2 cups this night. Also in really annoying like gaps between the cups. Like I have a cup at 1 AM I think and a cup at 4 AM. I have no idea when the heck shall I sleep. The thing with 4 AM is that I played the Kimi of the Week 3 times. In one edition I won. You can watch it on YouTube. It's uploaded today. It was my biggest achievement this year in Trackmania, where I got it was a really interesting cup for me. And as I won this edition, I qualified for the Kimi of the Year. And apparently this Kimi of the Year, I didn't even know that it has $1,000 prize money. So okay, I take that. No? Then I have to participate in there, but it's at fucking 4 AM. And I would say, okay, then I sleep early and try to wake up for that. But there is also another cup in the night, so so I don't know.
You can also go for Cup of the Night and win that too.
Yeah. It's a bit crazy. It's a bit crazy.